So what is the 2003-2004 Mercury Marauder? Really, this is a revival model, reviving the brand or the nameplate from the 1960s. It's called the Marauder, which means to raid, pillage, or plunder. And that's exactly what this car was made to do. It's got, for back then, a motor that's quite powerful. It comes straight from the Mustang Mach 1, which is a 32 valve, 4.6 liter engine. Now unfortunately it only produces 302 horsepower, but for the early 2000s that was a good amount of power. And you know what, it doesn't have the fastest 0 to 60 time, with it coming in only at 7.5 seconds. It is a fantastically fun car to drive over 3,500 RPM. The motor really wakes up. Really, after 4,000 RPM, you've got a really great motor, great sound. These were known to have come out with a better sound than the Impala SS. Ford and Mercury actually tried 5 different exhausts before coming on to the right exhaust. Now, a lot of people ask, is it just a Crown Victoria? It looks quite similar and actually borrows directly from the parts bin from the Crown Victoria and the Mercury Marquis, as well as the Mustang Mach 1 of 2003. So you really could say it did its job in plundering and pillaging, because it plundered the parts of other vehicles to actually make a fantastic car. It's surprising, you know, Ford and Mercury took parts from a bit everywhere, and it turned out to be a great car. Handling, it records a 0.86 on the skid pad, so that was taken in by Car and Driver. They tested that and it came out to that number, so Mercury's numbers were quite accurate. They also confirmed the 7.5 0 to 60 time, or 0 to 60 miles per hour time, that Mercury had offered and given to the public. It's got Tokiko shocks in the back. The rear diff is extremely heavy duty. It's from the limousine models, and a lot of the suspension know-how is from a police Interceptor. If we go towards the inside of the vehicle, find it's quite the spacious vehicle. Lots of space on the inside of the vehicle, lots of back seat space. It's got unique styling over a Crown Vic, and really why I'd suggest getting this over a Crown Vic is that a Crown Vic is unlikely to go up in value. They built tens of thousands of them every year, whereas for the Mercury Marauder they only built about slightly over 11,000 models. It was created from 2003 to 2004, so very limited production of only 2 years, with very few models sold. Still turned out to work out a profit for Mercury. They made almost $70 million from this model that didn't sell quite as well as they thought it would. They were hoping that they'd sell as many as the Impala SS had sold to the market. But by those years, I guess people were starting to look for less often for a big hot rod. And this does do a great job as a big hot rod with that Mustang Mach 1 motor. The suspension, it's pretty good on bumpy roads, and it's absolutely fantastic over 4,000 RPM. So those are really the strong points of the vehicle. But one of the strongest points of the vehicle is actually how cheap this vehicle is going to cost you to run. An alternator, for example, can run you at about $100, a water pump under $100. All the parts from this vehicle are very common, very easy to get your hands on, and very cheap. Usually for cars that are going to be, and this already is a collector's item, but for a car that's gaining value and has been gaining quite a bit of value since 2014, in mint, excellent condition, they're selling and worth about $22,000 to $23,000 US. In decent shape, they're worth about $10,000 US, and this is a vehicle that's only going to continue to gain in value. It's got a unique look over the Crown Victoria with its dual chromed exhaust. It's a fun car to drive. It's cheap to keep on the road, and it's only going to go up in value. And those are really some of its main points. Now, just in a moment, we're going to get into the technical aspects of this vehicle.